Tell me, mommy, ma. Tell me, mommy, ma. I won't be home for tea. We're going to Wembley. Tell me, mommy, ma. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Supermac, Malcolm McDonald! Malcolm McDonald, the last time Newcastle United were at Wembley in the League Cup final was 1976, and you were there. We've done it again. How do you feel?
Well, I hope they do a lot better than we did back then. We got beat 2-1. Although we felt we were the better side in most of the game. But, oh dear, Newcastle are going to have to do an awful lot better than we saw tonight. I was quite surprised how they failed to boss the game when they were 3-1 up. But nevertheless, we're through. We're at Wembley, thank heavens, and I think there's a fair amount of work needed by Eddie Howe and his coaches to get everything prepared for that game. I think it's an absolutely huge occasion, and when you consider what all that's happened over the last sort of 18 months, 15 months or so, you just get the feeling, do you not, or at least I do, that there is going to be silverware coming to the club. Let's make it this year. It will be fabulous.
Okay, before the game, you predicted 2-0. You weren't far off. I went 2-0 as well. But you picked out Sean Longstaff before the game as the man to watch. And I tell you what, you weren't wrong. We've been asking for him to score goals. His work rate's phenomenal. But what a time to score a brace, Malcolm. Semi-final at home to send the tune to Wembley.
Yeah, when I first saw them happen on the pitch, I thought, yeah, they're okay, those goals, nice goals. But having seen them on the television, I didn't realise just how good they were. Particularly the second goal. Sean Longstaff, for the second goal, he was the most defensive midfielder back in his own half, and he has just sprinted. And he's gone all the way into the box, and the ball has been put right on his toe end, and he's cracked it in. Beautiful goal. The whole move out on the left wing and down and across was absolutely fantastic. And we scored absolutely brilliant goals tonight, but we didn't match it with once those goals are scored, you say, well, come on guys, now boss the game. And Newcastle failed to do that, and I was really disappointed in that, because it shows a weakness to Man United. That's where that's what I see as a real problem, that they can see ways in which they can upset the Newcastle side over 90 minutes, even when Newcastle are winning. And that's a bad side, a very bad side to show.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about the other big incident tonight, which was obviously Bruno's sending off. Now, we do a podcast called NUFC Matters on YouTube, and we've been talking about this for the last few weeks. I've been mentioning to you, Bruno's coming close to a red card because he keeps flailing his arms out, diving in for challenges. He's getting very emotional, very passionate. Nothing wrong with it, but I've been preempting this for the last couple of weeks, and it's happened tonight. And he got a warning beforehand. Your next one, you're going in the book, son. Watching it back, I mean, looking at it at the ground, I didn't think it was a red. I've watched it back there, and dear me, how, you know, it was bad. But then, one of the lads in the bars just said, "Did you see Fabinho's the other night?" And he didn't even get sent off for Liverpool. So, you know, look, we know there's no consistency in games. But Bruno, the one good thing is, I always look for a positive. He's now got 3 games rest before the final.
Yes, always look on the bright side of life, eh? Yeah, I thought he was playing ever so well, Bruno. But I've just talked about Newcastle sort of losing the plot somewhat. Why on earth would Bruno need to go over the top? And when a player goes over the top, he knows exactly what he's doing. That's not an accident. And he knows what he did. And I had to look at the television screen. Oh dear me, and I got quite a shock when I saw it. But there was no reason to do it. Newcastle, they were leading by 2 clear goals. There's not long in the game left. And he just made it more difficult for Newcastle to hold on to their lead. And I thought, well, I had always rated Bruno as an intelligent player, but he showed a lot of stupidity on that. It just shows other sides how a player can be wound up, and that's a weakness in him that opposing players can look to get on top of. So and Man United, they'll be at him all game at Wembley. They seriously will be at him, and he's got to bite his tongue, and he's got to keep cool all the way through.
I know you said Newcastle didn't play well, but I'm going to say one thing now, and there's a couple of Southampton fans here, and there's a few in before the game. Let's give credit to Southampton, because they came here with a game plan, and it didn't work. Newcastle were too good over the 2 legs. But you know what? Southampton made it difficult for us. They tried their best, and fair play to Southampton. Well done, Good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, very, very well done. Your problem was that you let 2 goals in before you really played well, and you got it all the wrong way round. That if you had started from the first minute in the way that you finished the whole of the second half, then the whole evening might have been very, very different indeed. Oh dear. Newcastle, you gave them the collywobbles, well and true.
Got to ask you about Isak. It looked fairly innocuous. I haven't had time to see the replay, but it looked fairly innocuous. It looked like he just took the full ball in the face, but he was clearly struggling. If he's okay at the weekend, would you start him ahead of Wilson?
No, I wouldn't start him ahead of Wilson. I'd start him with Wilson, because Bruno needs to be replaced. We've got a number of midfield players in that team already, and it can just be shuffled about a little bit, with Isak playing off of Wilson, with full midfield players and the 4-man defence behind, and that I think will work really well. There will be far greater threat up front. And that's what the midfield and the defence are lacking at the moment, because tonight we've seen that it was the more defensive midfield player getting forward and sticking the ball in the net, where those up front never got a shot at a goal all game. Almiron, didn't see him, invisible. Wilson, he made a couple of runs and that was about it. And then Sir Maximin, when he came on, he was a shadow. And so that we've got to have something much punchier up front than we've had. When with Wilson, he hasn't scored since October. That's a long time ago. The only time I ever went that long without scoring was during the bloody summer, and so and that.
It took a while to get there, but I got there.
You got there in the end, did you? Well done. And so let's try something different up front. let's take pressure off of Wilson and see if it works with him, with his back to goal, and Isaac making runs left and right. And there are always other alternatives as well. Anthony Gordon as well can come on. And he'll be punchier, I'm sure, than we're seeing from St Maximin.
Okay. Man of the match tonight.
Man of the match tonight, without any doubt, Sean Longstaff. Absolutely superb. Not only did he score 2 vitally important goals, but he ran and ran non-stop all game, ran further than anybody else, and he's been doing that all season. Well done, Sean, you deserve it.
We're going to go to Wembley, Malcolm. Do you want us to just say one? I just wanted to say one thing. Tell me more, me more.
All right. Tell me more, me more.
Tell me more, me more. We won't be home for tea. We're going to Wembley. Tell me more, me more. Tell me more, me more. I won't be home for tea. We're going to Wembley. Tell me more, me more. Supermac will be back at the weekend before the West Ham game. And don't forget, this is the man who's still our record goal scorer in this particular cup competition, the League Cup. Put your hand together for Supermac, Geordie legend.